whispers going around that we might see Luke Cage in the new Daredevil series. Check it out.
Hey, John and crew, this is Scal from North Carolina. I don't know if you guys saw, but there's a set photo of Daredevil Born Again taking place in Harlem. But my question is, what do you think the chances are that Luke Cage does pop up in the show, whether it's Mike Coulter or not? And besides Punisher, do you think there's any chance we could see any other Defenders in the show? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for calling that in. And yeah, listen, I was started going through some of my messages and some people saying, hey, did you hear that Luke Cage may be in the Daredevil series? I'm like, well, what based on what? And I started looking around. I didn't see anything. Okay, so here's what happens. So if you are one of those people, and probably a lot of you are, who have been hearing these whispers that Luke Cage may be popping up in Daredevil Born Again, the new Disney Plus series coming up. You don't know where it comes from. Here's where it comes from. There was a post put up on social media of a picture taken in Harlem where this is pretty standard. We see these around Los Angeles all the time. These basically notifications that shootings are going to be going on, film shoots with, you can't park here because we got film shooting happening. This one says for the project name Out of the Kitchen. Now, Out of the Kitchen is the code name. It's the working title name of Daredevil Born Again. So they were going to be doing some shooting in Harlem down there. And who is a character that is closely associated with Harlem? Luke Cage. So literally these whispers and stories about that Luke Cage may be popping up in Daredevil all come from the fact that it appears they're at least shooting some stuff, some footage in Harlem. Now, a couple of sites, including CBR, this is CBR site right here, very accurately point out that there's two things to keep in mind. Just because Daredevil, who lives very close to Harlem, some of Daredevil is shot in Harlem, that does not necessarily mean Luke Cage is going to be in it. Any more than Spider-Man lives in the neighborhood too, doesn't mean Spider-Man's going to show up. But the other thing was, just because they are physically shooting in Harlem, that does not mean in the show it's supposed to be Harlem. So look, does any of that mean that there's no chance that Luke Cage, Mike Coulter, probably one of the 10 best looking men alive. I mean, I feel a little insecure looking at that dude. That's a handsome man. Anyway, that Mike Coulter, it doesn't mean that Mike Coulter, there's no chance Mike Coulter could show up in Daredevil. It doesn't mean that at all. But there being a picture of them shooting some stuff in real life Harlem does not necessarily equate that Mike Coulter is going to be popping up in the series. And I would go so far as to say this, Rob. Even though we have John Bernthal coming back, obviously now we don't have the same Vanessa coming back. We don't have the same Karen coming back. We don't have the same Foggy coming back, whatever. I would propose this. I don't know that they would bring the Luke Cage character back because I think it's safe to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's safe to say that out of the Netflix universe that they did, Daredevil and John Bernthal's Punisher were the two most popular characters, along with Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, obviously. I really liked the first half of season 1 of Luke Cage, like really liked it. But once Cottonmouth wasn't on the show anymore, and I'm not saying it's because he wasn't there anymore. I'm just saying right about that time when Cottonmouth wasn't on the show anymore, the second half of season 1 of Luke Cage just didn't have the same magic I felt like the first one did, and I didn't like season 2, unfortunately. So I don't think they're going to bring him back. This picture online does not mean at all that he's coming back, although it also doesn't take away any chances that he theoretically could. After all, Bernthal's coming back. Rob, you saw the picture. What are the chances, do you think, that we could see Mike Coulter's Luke Cage pop up in Daredevil Born Again? And is this something you'd want to see?
Well, look, like you, I love Mike Coulter. I love him in the TV show Evil. I liked him in Plane, the Gerard Butler movie that just came out. I mean, I love him, but a shooting location doesn't mean anything about who's going to be in a show, as you astutely pointed out. Would I like to see him? I loved him as Luke Cage. I mean, if they're bringing back the Punisher and are they bringing back Jessica Jones?
No official word on that yet.
And I just think, why not? I mean, these characters they're great characters. People like them. They already have a legacy in the Marvel universe, even though it's the Netflix version of it. I mean, with the spillover already of Daredevil into She-Hulk, I mean, I would love to see him come back. But I don't think this is just a filming location is no indication that he is coming back at all. Because like you said, it doesn't even have to play as Harlem. You know, they're just shooting there. It could be anywhere in New York. You know, they found a location manager, found a great place to shoot that served the story's needs for whatever was going on. I mean, they could say it's anywhere. It doesn't even have to be New York City, for instance. So I don't think that that's an indication that, I mean, like you said, the entire Marvel universe is set in New York City practically. Somebody has something going on there. So, I mean, are the Avengers going to be there? You might as well say they're going to be there too. Although we don't know who are in the Avengers anymore. So I would say this really isn't any indication of anything other than the fact they're shooting the show now.
Let me ask you, Jonathan, I don't know if you can bring that last picture you had up there of the Defenders, but you know, let me ask you this, when you have the Defenders, right? So you got Daredevil, you got Luke Cage, you got Iron Fist, you got Jessica Jones. That was on the show, right? Here's what I wanted. So John Bernthal's coming back. Obviously, Bernthal wasn't part of the Defenders, so there's that. We got John Berthal coming back. Vincent D'Onofrio's there. Let me ask you this: as you look at the Defenders, and obviously Daredevil it's his series, so Daredevil's going to be there. And we go down the rest of that line. We got Jessica Jones there, we got Iron Fist, and we've got Luke Cage. Out of those, who do you think is most likely to join Punisher and coming into the new Daredevil series?
I think Jessica Jones is.
You think she's got the best chance out of the rest of them?
Yeah. Because I only because her character is, in a way, more versatile in the sense that she's a counterpoint to she does a bunch of different things. She has a civilian life more than a superhero life. Whereas Daredevil is a superhero or a lawyer all the time, where Jessica Jones, she could do a whole series and not use her powers. You could tell different kinds of stories, and I think it opens up the show. But if you bring Luke Cage in, it's more specific, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But I think Jessica Jones probably would be, but then obviously I don't think Finn Jones is going to come back. But you never know.
Well, see, that opens up a whole nother ball of wax, right? Like, because we've got a new Vanessa coming stuff. I mean, it's theoretically possible they could bring in a Luke Cage, but not Mike Coulter. It's possible they could try Iron Fist again, but not Finn Jones. I mean, maybe they want to do Heroes for Hire, but I mean, look, does anybody let me throw a statement out there to everybody watching. Let me know if you disagree with the statement. Out of the Defenders, the least likely to come back is probably Iron Fist. Does anybody disagree with that? I think we all agree. So if they wanted to take another crack at maybe Heroes for Hire and stuff like that, maybe like Vanessa or whatever, they recast the roles, bring a new one. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities there. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? I mean, they're shooting some of Daredevil in Harlem. Do you think that means that Luke Cage will be there? Maybe you're like, it doesn't mean anything. Do you want to see Luke Cage played by Mike Coulter? Do you think maybe they'll recast it? What about the other Defenders? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I made the switch over to Mint Mobile a while ago. The process couldn't have been easier, and I can't believe that I am spending less than a third of what I was spending on one of the other major carriers before. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door free, go to mintmobile.com mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.